welcome back to Iran Daily News Feed. I'm Kate and let's have a look at today's news. Triple-digit inflation has blighted Iran in recent years. Food prices in Iran have increased from 70% to 400%, as well as shortage of basic goods along with their high prices have become normal across the country. State-run ISNA news agency says lack of basic goods in supply will most likely lead to inflation soon. According to official statistics, 1 in 3 Iranians is below the absolute poverty line. The unemployment rate is also in double digits. Semi-official media have also reported the workers in Iran can only cover 35% of the cost of the household. Statistics shows that only 3 out of 10 Iranians are employed, and of course, the real statistics are much higher than the Islamic Republic announces and claims. Meanwhile, the Iranians say Palestine, Syria, and proxy groups are the cause of our misery because the Ayatollah's regime sends national assets and fuel to them instead of spending on the Iranian people. Today, Iranians live in utter poverty while the kleptocrats spend billions of dollars on terrorism to continue their malicious activities and destabilize the region. Since the Islamofascist revolutionaries occupied Iran, the 1979 rebels killed and hanged thousands of monarchists, members of the Pahlavi dynasty, including senior generals, high-level politicians, mayors, senior civilian officials, and prominent businessmen, as well as the pace of executions were accelerated, leading to 1988 mass executions, and bloodletting became much worse. The bloodthirsty revolutionaries were not even satisfied with executions in order to assassinate dissidents and former officials abroad. Dozens of Iranians abroad were assassinated since the Pahlavi dynasty was overthrown. Since then, the Islamic Republic shows its hatred towards monarchists, as well as Ayatollahs are terrified of those people who want the monarchy back to Iran. During the bloody November of 2019, which trickled into 2020, lasting until July and August, about 10,000 demonstrators and people were killed by the Islamic Security Forces' direct shooting in the nationwide protest. Hundreds died in custody, dozens hanged, and thousands of them still are in prison. According to grassroots reports, 216 people whose identities have been recognized were killed in Khuzestan province, that 20 of them were shot dead while seeking cover among the reeds of marshland in Mashhad. The Islamic authorities ordered to burn the reeds to eliminate traces of crime and evidence. More than 208 people also were killed in the Iranian capital, Tehran, 122 individuals in Kermanshah, and 96 people in Kash. However, thousands of those dissidents who chanted anti-regime slogans to praise the Pahlavi dynasty, many of them underage, also were among the detainees. The people chanted, "Bless your soul, Reza Shah. O Crown Prince, come to our help. Shah of Iran, return to Iran, and Iran is muddled and a mess without the Shah." Monarchist groups supporting the Pahlavi monarchy were targeted and arrested by the Islamic authorities across multiple cities and taken to jail. Today, there are thousands of monarchists who are being jailed in the Iranian prison, and they are often boycotted by the media because of their political views. Despite suffering from COVID-19 and poor physical condition, Iranian monarchist prisoner Khaled Pirzadeh is still on hunger strike. Pirzadeh, who is being held in Shevan prison of Ahvaz, has been on a hunger strike since 22nd of September, protesting against no consideration for the principle of the separation of crimes in prison and brutal treatment of his family by the law enforcement officers and other unmet demands. The lawyer affirmed the infinite hunger strike as well. The jailed monarchist was sentenced to 7 years in prison on 26th of January 2020 at Tehran Islamic Revolutionary Court, chaired by the infamous judge Mohammad Moghisa, on charges of assembly and collusion against the Islamic Republic and insulting the supreme leader. According to Article 134 of the Islamic Penal Code, he must serve just 5 years of his conviction. The patriotic group of Iranian monarchists have started a campaign in the Austrian capital, Vienna, where the so-called Iranian nuclear talks are placed to expose all crimes that have been committed by the Ayatollah's regime and explain to the European people directly about the Tehran's malicious activities since they took power in 1979. The Iranian monarchy is carrying the one and only Iranian lion and sun flag, and the images of the late Muhammad Reza Shah and Reza Shah the Great and the exiled Crown Prince Reza Pahlavi have staged a rally in the Austrian capital on September 11th this year to support Iranian people inside the country who risked their lives and are taking to the streets and chanting regime change in Iran. Iran's national anthem was also played during the rally when people were joining the campaign, expressing their wishes that freedom and democracy would come back to Iranian nation again. A Chinese who sent his message on condition of anonymity due to fear of the ruling Communist Party in China told the Iranian people not to be deceived by China, the Islamic Republic, Hezbollah, Russia, and terrorist groups, and clarified that all the mentioned states and groups are together against Iranians to destroy Iran. The Chinese Viator also added not to trust them at all. And Israeli also wishes Iranian to achieve freedom and democracy again. That was all for today. Thank you for the privilege of your time.